Welcome to the EarthWorks Podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon with many of the turf friends we've met over the past 35 years.
Hi, everybody. This is Joel Simmons, along with Jack Higgins, and this is another EarthWorks Podcast. And we have back to the stage our dear friend Walter Pritchett, who just finished up a championship, the ISCO. Am I saying that right? ISCO Championship. At the course last week, and it was a wonderful success, wasn't it? You had that was kind of a surprise tournament. When did you only just got that tournament on the docket? Less than a year ago, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right at a year.
It was I remember talking to you. I think I was with you when you were just about to find out. This used to be the Barbasol tour, right? And
right. It was,
and they
I don't
switched.
remember. It was the Barbasol for, I don't know, 6 or 8 years over in Lexington. And then they brought on a new sponsor, and that sponsor wanted to bring it to Louisville. And we were the course they chose.
So let's talk a little bit about Louisville. Louisville, Kentucky is not an easy place to grow grass. You're probably one of the worst places in the country, like the Mid-Atlantic close to us and St. Louis, and then there's Louisville, and you guys have incredibly hot weather in the summer months. And then,
well, you wouldn't know it at Hurstbourne Country Club.
Yeah.
So do you guys remember Dr. Powell from UK?
Absolutely.
So he had a quote that he would always use that said, "The state of Kentucky has the privilege of being able to grow every grass known to man, equally poor."
That's great. That's great.
Well, at some point during the year, there's a stretch where it's, you got the wrong grass down.
You have every grass known to man on your property, I think.
Pretty much. I've got common Bermuda in the rough. We got fescue and bluegrass in the rough.
Mm-hmm.
Zoysia fairways and bentgrass greens.
Yeah, just about everything.
Well, yeah. What are you missing?
You had some fine fescue. You have fine fescue out there.
Yeah, we've also got some fine fescue in our native areas.
Any ryegrass?
And if you look close, you can find POA.
Of course, yeah.
That's right. Well, that combo in the rough sure made for some thick rough outside the short grass at that ISCO Championship.
It did, and that's probably the only thing we did different in prepping for the tournament that we don't do on a daily basis for our members.
Right.
So we made a couple of extra fertilizer applications, one early in the spring with the 822 and another one about a month out from the tournament, 6 weeks out from the tournament with a 545.
Yes.
And then about 2 weeks out from the tournament, I hit it again with just some a Lebanon product, their Mesa product, a slow release.
Yes.
Wow. So you were juiced up.
Which works really well when there's a good carbon backing to it, especially, with
correct.
that compost on the ground.
That was a real low rate, only like it was probably less than a half a pound of N that we put down with that app, but it was really more for color and just to give it a little more life going into it. But
what's the quote that you heard about?
I love this quote.
So I don't know which player said this because he said it to one of my assistants and he didn't get the name. But he goes, he's coming off the course and he said, one of my assistants asked him how he liked it. And he goes, it was completely different than what they expected. They show up to this off week tournament at a 7,000 yard golf course, in Louisville, Kentucky, a place they've never heard of. And next thing you know, a U.S. Open breaks out. One over par made the cut.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing
amazing
for a tournament like that.
It's really amazing.
The scoring average, I don't know if this is so. The scoring average was like 1.19 shots over par for the field,
and
I was told earlier today that ranks as the 5th hardest tour stop this year.
Oh my gosh!
I haven't. Oh, there you are. I haven't verified that. So I don't know if it's true, but that's what I was told.
It's very impressive. And like you're saying, like if you didn't make the fairway and you were in the rough, or if you were in the green surround, look out. it was thick.
But it was a very fair test of golf, because if you were in the, I mean, we had 2 people shoot 61.
That's
Really? Oh, that's pretty
yeah.
impressive.
So I mean, somebody did it on the first day, and the winner
In the final round.
of the final round, he shot 61 and came from 7 shots back to win. He shot 9
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Wow.
7 shots back on Sunday
And shot a 61 to win.
So the scoring was out there, but you had to play the golf course correctly. You couldn't just bomb and gouge. You had to play it correctly. You know, the fairways were extremely firm. Zoysia grass fairways that, you know, it hadn't rained in a couple of weeks, so they were super firm, super tight, and everything kind of, we got a lot of dog legs that actually butt grade. So if you're not working the ball, if you're just trying to bomb it, then you're not gonna be able to hold the fairway. You got to be able to work it with the terrain and with the with the bend of the hole.
Yes. So it was a finesse thing, like you would blast it through the fairway into the rough.
I mean, you had if you played the course smartly, you could score well. If you just tried to bomb and gouge, it was tough. I mean, our greens are small. I mean, they average like 4,700 square feet. So
very small.
Our greens are very small. So if you're coming in out of the rough, you're gonna have a hard time holding them, because they were
especially a 5-inch rough, right?
I mean, and they were rock hard. That was all the commentators talked about throughout the event and that's all the players talked about, was how firm everything was and how much they loved it. One of the players said, "I don't know what you did, and I don't want to give away all my secrets, but your products have a lot to do with it."
You didn't have them all juiced up.
Yeah, I don't know what you did, because typically this time of year on bent grass greens, they're either dead or a sponge.
Right.
That's right. You're right. And they weren't either. Yeah, they were dense and they rolled so true.
What was the cultural practice? How did you do that? Were you rolling a lot?
Rolling a lot, but I don't think rolling firms them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's all moisture management.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the last 2 weeks leading into it, we never turned on an overhead. It was all, and we were weather forecast showed thunderstorms every day week of the tournament.
Oh, really?
And the week leading into the tournament. You know, it's Kentucky. You're gonna
it's the way it's been all, all
Mid-Atlantic's been that way.
So I just absolutely drowned the greens in penetrance. Just preparing for thunderstorms. So if we got something, if we got a 1/2 inch rain, most of that would flush through, and we wouldn't lose that much firmness or that much speed. But without getting anything, I mean, they became concrete.
But that's something that you can do when you have good roots and a strong plant. Otherwise you could push the plant too hard that way. Right.
And everybody was kind of members, and they were all like, "Man, are you pushing them too far? Are you pushing them too hard? Is it?" And it's like, "No, they're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine."
Leave me alone.
they might be turning a little brown in the afternoon or a little gray, but come look at them in the morning after we rehydrate the crown and get a little bit of water in there. Everything's green again. And then by 6 o'clock in the evening, they've kind of started going, just going a little off color. But
the tops on the zoysia out in the fairways, you'd see you could see you were drying them down.
Yeah, brown is good, black is bad.
That's the rule. Did you have to run water at all during the day, during the tournament? I mean, did you have to syringe them?
No, we wouldn't have to syringe them, but we would go out. We just used our moisture meters, and we would go out, after play and paint the greens. So give them just, when I say paint them, you're just walking at a quick speed and just
with water, I assume.
Water, yeah, just painting the surface, which raises the moisture content by about 1%.
Yeah.
And then using the moisture meter, you just go around and find your spots and try and bring that area that's 4 or a 5 moisture content up to a 8 or a 10. And
so
then
you're just hitting hot spots for the most
just
part.
hitting hot spots,
really?
Yeah, and it's fine. And we were using a penetrant tablet on the hose, and we had penetrants on the sprayed out there, and then we had it in the hose. So every time water was applied to the green, it was being absorbed, and the surface tension was being broken, and it was being absorbed down into it. So we weren't getting any runoff, and so our wet areas weren't getting wetter, and our dry areas weren't staying dry. We were able to hydrate our dry areas and keep our wetter areas of the green, exactly the way we wanted.
I don't even know this, Walter, but who runs the ISCO Championship? What's the group?
It's
PGA, right?
It's a PGA tour. And
so
then
you had PGA agronomists on site?
Yeah, PJ was our agronomist. Don't
Okay.
ask me to pronounce his last name. If anybody knows PJ, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
PJ actually. Yeah, and Jack, you said you spent some time with him, right?
Yes, yeah, he was out there with us quite a bit, and he brought the Fun Canadians, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
How long was he on the property? When did he show up?
2 weeks. So he showed up on Monday of advanced week, and he left Sunday after the tournament.
So how was the interaction with you guys? And do they push you much?
Actually, what I asked him to do was to be the brake pedal.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
nice.
Just don't, because every person I talk to, every superintendent who's ever hosted an event or a tournament, the question I asked every one of them was, what was the biggest mistake you made in year one? And every single one of them said, I tried to do too much.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was what I kind of asked PJ to do, was just be my brake pedal. Tell me, the golf course is good. It
Don't mess with it.
we keep green speeds between 12 and 13 every day for our members.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot to do to the greens to get them where the PGA Tour wanted. We just firm them up a little bit more than I keep them for my members.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
When we grew the rough up, but it was PJ. Don't let me do just don't let me make a mistake.
Well, like they're coming back the next 2 years, like you're saying as well, like they're going to be back. So, and now here's a question. Monday, Tuesday, today's Tuesday evening. How's the course? How is it kind of recovering? What have you done? What did you do Monday morning?
Monday morning, we basically put the shop back together. Sent some guys out with rough mowers.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the crew just kind of put the shop back together. Right?
Got rid of
Cool.
all the beer cans and all this
Well,
stuff.
and, our equipment storage area became the dining hall.
That's
Right,
right.
of
Yeah,
course.
you had tables
So
set
we had
up
to
and
get
everything.
get all that stuff out of there and get the just get all that put back together. All the potted plants that were put out around the property. Right, we picked all that stuff up, and then so yesterday was just a cleanup day.
Mhm.
It's funny. None of the crew wanted any days off. I guess that
Really?
they didn't. Yeah, well, I mean, they banked all that overtime. They didn't want to waste it, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
they worked. They both worked yesterday and today. Now my assistants, two of them took off, or two of them took off yesterday. One of them took off today, and then I've been working. I just worked a half day both days.
Yeah,
I went in, got everybody going, and then came home and tried to catch up with stuff on the farm and hung out with my grandbaby one day. But
that's nice.
So today was rehydration day, right? We sprayed a wetting agent, C3, and some other just random stuff, both on fairways and greens, tees, and fairways, right?
Yeah, just got it all out there.
Right. And then tomorrow we'll spray basically the Vantage program, right? So Mag, Cal, and K Vantage.
That's right. Yeah, we talked about that with C3.
With C3.
And you were going to go double rates. You were going to go double rates on C3 as recovery. So like just a 2 gallon per acre. That's right.
Well, yeah. So instead of going double rates, I'm just spraying it twice.
There you go.
Was there a lot of damage?
It went in with the wetting agent today, and it's going to go at the gallon rate, and it's going in with the fertility tomorrow at a gallon.
Smart. Yeah, good move.
Did you have a lot of damage from the tournament? I mean, was there a lot of recovery to have?
No, just trying to get some color back in the green.
I mean, your program is so strong that your resilience is got to be pretty good. So even, how many people did you have on property? Do you know? I mean, what was the total number?
It was somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 people a day.
Well, that's good. That's a lot of people on your property.
For an off week event when the top 10 players in the world aren't there, right? The big draws weren't there. It was still a good crowd.
Well, yeah, that's good. And you said that the tents did really well, right?
Yeah, so it was interesting. They started pulling all the wrapping around the scaffolding that the tents sit on.
Yeah.
I was expecting all that grass to be dead, and none of it is.
Yeah.
Was that zoysia or was that some of the other grass?
That was our Heinz 57 row.
Yeah.
So bluegrass, fescue, and Bermuda.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Was this your first tournament?
It's the first tournament I've hosted as a superintendent, of this level, right? We've hosted state opens and other local stuff. I've been to a bunch of them. I've been to I've worked some U.S. Opens and PGA Championships.
Yeah, I worked with you at the PGA Championship across the road there for a while.
Yeah, and other tour events, but this is the first time I've done it. I've done it.
Yeah. So what did you learn? What would you tell somebody if now that you've been through it all?
It's not as big of a deal as you think.
Good.
Right? I mean, if you've already got a good program, you've already got a good golf course. It doesn't take a lot to really get it to where you need to get it to for the pros. But so a couple things I've learned, right? One is that the PGA Tour is trying to tell us, and the Sport 5 was the contractor that ran the tournament for the PGA Tour, and the Golf Channel, right? They're trying to tell a story. They're setting the cameras up to get beauty shots, and they're setting, everything they do is they're trying to tell a story. The way they set the golf course up, the whole locations, it's okay. We're gonna give them a chance to make some birdies because that makes for good TV, and then we're gonna give them some challenges following right behind that. So it's all about trying to tell that story. But the main thing I learned is we don't need to roll the golf ball back. We don't need to build 8,000-yard golf courses. We just need to prepare the golf course for the ability of the player that's playing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a 7,000-yard golf course. These players thought they were going to shoot 25 to 30 under. They thought it was going to be a birdie fest to win.
Mm-hmm. Did they say that when they came?
Yes, that's what they said leading into it, right?
So that was your fear. I mean, that was the criticism.
That was my fear, and that was what our members fear, right? They were like, man, they're going to come in here and they're just going to embarrass our golf course,
embarrass us.
And I'm like, guys, trust me. Okay. just trust me. I promise you, they will not embarrass our golf course.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
They shot 30 under at Hawaii earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
They shoot in the low 20s at Sawgrass. That's one of the hardest golf courses in the world.
Right. Yeah.
So it's if you prepare and condition the golf course for the players that are playing it to be a challenge, you don't need 7,000 yards. No. I mean, you can get by with 7,000 yards. You don't need an 8,000-yard golf course.
Exactly.
One over par was the cut line.
That's pretty impressive.
So what did you have in mind? I mean, when you're thinking of preparing for the players that are here, what do you have in mind in that?
It's firm, fast.
Firm. Yeah.
It's firm fairways, and a lot of our fairways, they kind of sit on angles, right? So not angles, but
they are. Yeah.
If you're not working the ball in the proper direction, you're going to have a hard time holding the fairway. If you get a little crooked, I mean, the fairways were running out 70 70 yards.
Right, right.
So
And if you're bouncing
just
into
a
that
little
rough,
bit, that just takes your dispersion from this to this.
mhm.
If you're just a little bit off, you're going to be in the rough. And if you're in the rough, you're not going to hold the green.
Yeah.
Or you're definitely not going to be able to attack those front pins. You're probably not going to be able to attack anything that's behind a bunker.
Yeah.
Very tight in the front, all those greens, very
Right? So
tight in the front.
You're going to have to lay up to the, you're going to have to hit to the front of the green or landed in the approach and just let it run up into the middle of the green. And now you got a 25-foot putt, which for a PGA Tour player is a 15% make.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I mean, they've got to hit it inside of 10 feet to be 50-50.
And that's how you get a cut above par on
Exactly.
Friday afternoon.
But the guys that controlled the ball, the guys that kept it in the fairway and played smart, like I said, 2 people shot 61.
Yeah.
That's 9 under par.
And one did it to win the tournament.
One did to win the tournament. And by the way, that's the most incredible round I've ever seen.
I wish I'd watched that. I mean, I could have seen that.
Flowing. The guy was flowing.
He beat the field average that day by 10 shots.
Oh,
Field average was 1 over par that day. He shot 9 under. That's ridiculous.
It was one guy.
Flowing.
Yeah.
And you said what's his name? You said you met him, Walter?
Mao.
Okay,
Mao, yeah. First time champion, right? First time winner.
First time winner. It's like his, I don't know, 15th, 20th start, something like that.
Good for him.
It's a fantastic story. Unbelievably nice man. He's in his mid to early 20s. His wife's pregnant. They're gonna have their first kid here in a maybe a month.
Yes.
It was just watching the emotion come out of him when he realized that he won was really cool. I mean, it was a life-changing moment for him.
How many did he win by?
1.
He did. Oh, so
Wow. The leader going in birdied 16 and 17 to get within 1, and he had a birdie putt he missed the fairway and on 18 and hit it to about 30 feet and had a birdie putt to tie and left it missed it by about a foot.
So he hit that rough and he was cursing you because he could have probably gotten in on it. It wasn't 12 feet rough that you.
It made for a U.S. Open style golf.
That's really
a great story.
That's really all I wanted. And I thought Mao I thought he ruined what I wanted when he went out and threw up that 61. And he had with 9 holes to go, he had a 4-shot lead.
Yeah, that's like a movie story.
He finished 2 hours before the leaders. Wow. I mean,
wow.
He came from that far back, right?
Yeah, he was 7
2 hours before the leaders, and like I said, he had a 4-shot lead when they started the back 9. And all I wanted was for there to be like 3 to 5 guys with a chance to win coming down to the last handful of holes. I didn't care really what they shot.
Yeah,
I didn't want it. I didn't want it
to be tight.
I didn't want it to be 25 under, but if it was, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wanted a handful of guys to have a chance to win coming down the stretch, and we ended up getting it. We ended up having 2 guys with a chance
in a backwards sort of way.
In a backwards sort of way, exactly. But it was really fun to watch.
So this poor guy hits the round of his life, and then has to sit there and watch for 2.5 hours while everybody else plays through. And wonders if he's got a chance. I mean, that had to be incredibly nerve-wracking.
Oh, that was ridiculously stressful.
Yeah, I can't even imagine sitting in there watching this. What do you know what he did? Was he out on the course, or was he just hiding out somewhere?
He hung out in the players' dining area for a while, and then he went over the range and just kind of
loosened up.
Kept himself busy.
Yeah.
Right. Just hit a few balls, talk to his caddy. Hit a few balls, talk to his caddy.
Yeah, God, that had to be crazy.
Trying to stay busy.
You told me that the neat thing about this guy is that he grew up on an egg farm. I mean, that's something near and dear to our heart, obviously, being selling chicken manure. But yeah, that's kind of
fitting. Cool. He had a leg up the whole time. He
didn't
know it.
But I'm bummed.
Such a clock.
Oh my gosh,
that's too funny.
Yeah.
Tell us about Hurstbourne. I mean, it's a fascinating property. I love your clubhouse. I love the golf course. But tell for folks that don't know you guys, you're really one of the best kept secrets in that whole Louisville area. I mean, you got some great golfers, but
it's an interesting story. It's very historic, right? The original owner was Colonel Anderson, and he was given the property as payment for his service during the Revolutionary War.
Whoa.
And it was called Soldiers Retreat. It was a place for traveling soldiers to kind of stop and gather themselves and move on to the next place. I don't remember the original acreage of the property. It was probably somewhere around 1,000 acres.
Yeah.
And then
with the creek that runs through it and the whole thing.
Yeah, so Bear Creek runs through it, and there's a couple of stone houses on the property. There's a spring house that dates back to the mid 1700s. There's an old stone house up in the parking lot that's of the same age. So the course has a feel that's really old. The club has a feel that's really old. The original part of the clubhouse was built in the 1870s. And then
it's got a Gilded Age look.
Yeah, and then it was renovated in the 1920s, 19-teens, 1920s. It was renovated and expanded, and then but it didn't become a golf course until the mid 60s.
Okay,
so in golf terms, it's really not old, right? I mean,
young, relatively.
It's not like the Country Club or National or Shinnecock or any of these ones that were from the 1800s. I mean, we're only 60 years old.
However, it's an ancient.
However, the property itself feels old. We've got a stone wall that runs through the property that who knows when it was built, right? And then trees that were planted 100 years ago. At one point in time, Miss Hurt had the Hurt family owned it. They were the last owners before Mr. Highball bought it and turned it into a golf course. But Miss Hurt, her garden, at one point in time, had every tree native to the state of Kentucky planted in it.
Oh, really?
So we've got these huge trees all over the property.
You do.
That again, that gives it that aged feel. Keith Foster did a renovation in 2002, and then we did another update to that a couple of years ago.
Who was the original architect?
Chick Adams. Most people have never heard of him. He's got maybe 15, 20 golf courses to his name. Most of he's got a handful down in the Georgia area. I'm really not sure. I really don't know much about him.
Yeah.
But Keith Foster did a renovation in like I said 2000 I'm sorry, I said 2002, 2004, 2005.
And that was pretty substantial, right? I mean, that was
a total blow up.
Yeah, completely changed the layout and the design of the property.
Total blow up. And that gave and one of the things he was charged with was to take a golf course that looked like it was built in the 60s and make it look like it was built
in the 20s.
Yeah,
he did a remarkable job with that.
It does have that feel for sure.
You wouldn't not drive around there and not think it's an old course and an old property. Right. I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, it really has that. And then you had another renovation since the
just a little cleanup job, right? We did. We built a short game practice area that's fantastic.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
The players absolutely loved it. So it sits on about 2.5 acres. So it's got 3 chipping greens, a huge fairway, a 10,000 square foot putting green, and then on the back side of that is a tournament practice tee.
Right.
So for the players in this event, it was fantastic, right? Because it flowed very well to warm up, hit some chip, your chip shots and your driving range are right there together. Roll a few putts, go through your program, and then off to the first tee. It just flowed very well. So we built that. We renovated our 9-hole course to take it from the 60s look to the 20s, teens 20s look. So we got that straightened out. And then just did a cleanup job, right? Just the bunkers have been aged. We had a lot of sand splash up on the on the greens. So there were a lot of places where you couldn't see the surface of the greens. because the bunker lip had been elevated by 1.5 feet because of sand splat. 20 years.
And you made nice grass over lips on all the bunkers
right?
too.
Yeah, we got that nice bull nose.
Yeah,
it's a great look.
Gives it a really rough, rugged.
Who did the design of the bunkers?
Keith.
Well, that was Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, your bunkers are really wonderful. I think they're great. And you built that short course before you even knew this championship was coming on, right?
Correct.
That was not part of the plan.
No, we didn't do. Like I said, the only thing we did for the tournament was raise the height of cut of the rough and firm the greens up a little bit more.
Was that your call or was that PGA's call? The height of the cut.
That was mine.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to have the PGA come through and not try and make the rough a little thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you cut it back since the tournament? Have the members play with
it? So yesterday and today we mowed it at 4 inches just to start the process.
Yeah.
And then because I was afraid if I went straight to 2.5 to 3 inches,
don't do that. Yeah.
I would either leave a ridiculous mess.
Yeah.
Or I'd kill some grass.
Yeah, and you'd stunt the cool season harder, and
exactly, right.
and you'd lose your balance.
Right. So we mowed it at 4 inches today. We'll mow it at 3.5 inches Thursday and Friday. Monday we'll mow it at Monday we'll knock it down to 3 inches, and we'll just kind of step it down and then we'll probably maintain it at 3 inches the rest of the season.
What are the members saying right now? Are they playing it and wanting to feel that?
They've been cussing me for the last 3 weeks.
Good. Oh, that's right. You've been growing it up for a while, so they've been playing it high.
Yeah. So we about mid June we started raising the height of cut.
Oh, boy.
And we raised the height of cut exactly the way we're taking it down. Right. Mowed it at 3.5 inches for a week. Or mowed it at 3 inches for a week, then 3.5 inches for a week, and then 4 inches for a week, and then we just kind of left it. We just mowed it 2 or 3 times at that 4-inch height, and then week of the tournament we mowed it early in the week, and then just walked away from it. So there's no telling what it was by Sunday.
Anybody break a wrist?
No, I didn't hear anybody breaking a wrist. But, but what I really liked most about our rough was. It was consistently inconsistent.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I like that.
Right. So if you hit it in the rough, you might get an awful lie. You might get an okay lie, or you might get a good lie. You might catch a spot that was a droughty spot,
beaten down a little bit,
and you got a chance. So it was it was kind of hit or miss, and I think that's part of the game of golf, right? Luck is a lot. Luck and rub of the green is part of the game of golf.
Yes, it is.
It shouldn't be just, I hit it in the rough, let me grab a wedge and gouge it out.
Yeah,
exactly. I have to have a look at this. Yeah.
You're going to be finding a lot of balls in there.
A lot of the rough gave you just a good enough lie to make you think you could pull the shot off.
Oh, great.
Great. False rough. I like that.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
Right. So you either hit it high on the club face and you came up short and ended up in the bunker, or you caught a flyer and you went over the back of the green, or you hit it perfect, landing in the middle of the green, but you couldn't hold it.
What's your normal rough program when you're not running a tournament? What do you typically do to keep the rough going? I mean, you're mowing it a lot lower, obviously.
Right, we're mowing it 2.5, 3 inches, depending on the weather, and it gets the 822 or the 545. How
many times? Like once or twice?
Spring and fall, typically.
Yeah, twice.
And then C3, and then I've got another carbon-based product from another supplier that I
excuse me.
Sorry, that I mix with a nitrogen product that I mix with the C3.
Right.
To put it, just to spoon feed some nitrogen to the rough throughout.
Right. And how many sprays of that did you do in addition to the 822 and 545 this year?
It's a once a month program.
Yeah, so probably 3 or 4 before the tournament.
Yeah, it probably would have gotten 3 or 4 going into the tournament.
Yeah, that's another big, that also thickens it up quite a bit.
I mean, your rough has always been spectacular.
I mean, ever since I've discovered the C3 a handful of years ago,
That product.
It's like water. It goes in every spray tank.
I got a great picture at your shop of the Leaning Tower of C3, the tote.
Yeah, we use the empty totes of C3 to put the new totes on top.
Yeah, it's very funny.
To make it easier to
so
fill
there's so there's like a 3,000-pound tote of C3 sitting on top of an empty tote. That's all good.
Just so you get access a little bit easier.
It makes it easier to get that bucket underneath it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's too funny.
Man.
That is too funny. Tell us a little bit about you. I mean, you've got a pretty interesting background. You've been doing this for a while.
Well, he's got the farm too.
Well, we'll get there.
So I started at, but don't hold this against me, but I started out in this business as a sweater folder. I thought I wanted to be a golf pro, and I was an assistant pro at Hillwood Country Club for 2 or 3 years in Nashville, Tennessee. And then all of my buddies were working on the golf course. I'm like, this sucks, right? I called working behind the counter being in the penalty box because it had a big, huge picture window behind it, and I could look. All I did was look out at the golf course and see everybody enjoying being outside. And I might as well have been working at Dillard's, right? I mean, all I was doing, it was awful. So I put down my clubs and picked up a shovel and went to work for one of my mentors, Dave Green, at the Golf Club of Tennessee, and didn't know anything except how to work hard.
How old are you at this point?
I'm 21, 22.
So you're a kid. You're a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just gotten married. And the only reason I met Dave was my wife was teaching his kids.
That's too funny.
My wife was his kid's kindergarten teacher. So,
that's
just one day at a party, I say a party, what parent
teacher stuff,
thing, right?
That's a party.
We just started talking, and he's like, yeah, if you want to change and do something different, I'll give you a job. Come on out. So started working hard and worked my way from a guy who didn't know anything to an assistant there over the course of a couple of years, and while going to college and getting my turf degree. I already had a degree from a small college, Aquinas College. I had a degree in science, and got that degree because I didn't know that was as you get towards the end of it, right? It's like, okay, what do I have? What do I need the fewest hours to graduate?
Right.
Okay, I'll take these.
General science.
I'm done, right? So, so I went back to school to get my turf degree or an agronomy degree while working at the Golf Club of Tennessee. And then he helped me, just the things he taught me about the business side of being a superintendent far outweighed what he taught me as in the agronomy side, because, that side of the business has changed so much over the years, right? Agronomy, I didn't become a good superintendent until I forgot everything I learned in college and started over.
We love hearing that.
Trying to build carbon in my soil, right? Trying to build humus, trying to build organic matter, not aerifying, not throwing 3-4 pounds of nitrogen down on it every year,
not
right?
growing thatch all the time.
Once I figured out how to get off of that hamster wheel, then that's when I think I became. I still don't think I'm a good superintendent. That's when I became a better superintendent.
You're a good superintendent.
There are still guys that are way better than me at this job, but that's when I became a better superintendent. So, so from there I went and worked for a Larry Shore at Germantown Country Club in Memphis, and he taught me the nitty gritty side of the business, right? How to, we were a mid-budget club, and the Golf Club of Tennessee at that point in time, it was, if you needed it, buy it, right? There really wasn't a budget, right? So going to work for Larry taught me the nitty gritty side of the business.
Yeah.
And stayed there for a handful of years, and then I went out on my own and built a course in Tunica, Mississippi for the casinos. That was interesting.
Your first course was construction. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, it was. Riverbend Links, which was built between the Corps of Engineers levee and the Farmers levee. It was on an old cotton field.
Oh my gosh.
When we walked on property for the first time, there was less than a foot of fall on 200 acres.
A foot.
Miserable.
It was that flat.
So they moved a lot of dirt.
We moved a whole lot of dirt. And then working for the casinos was interesting. We had a management company, but it was also working for the casinos. That was interesting. And trying to grow bent grass in the Mississippi Delta.
So bent grass?
Bent grass in the Mississippi Delta. That was fun.
On something that half the property was going to be at sea level or
Well, it was at river level. Yeah,
at river level.
So, I mean, we were a couple hundred yards from the Mississippi River.
Did you get flooded a lot?
That's why it's no longer a golf course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So after I left there, a few years after I left there, I think it was probably in 2000. Well, actually, it was probably about 10 years after I left there, 2012-ish. A huge flood hit the Memphis, Mississippi area, and it breached the Farmers levee and put that golf course under about 20 feet of water. And
after the levees broke,
and they reopened it. They reopened it for a while, and then just said, it's just not worth it. So they shut it down. But after building that course, getting it up and running, I went to Arnold Palmer Golf Management. Recruited me to come up and build or finish the construction at the Cardinal Club for the University of Louisville.
Yep.
And I was a regional superintendent for them. I had 3 or 4 courses with like the University Club system, and then another couple courses inside of the Arnold Palmer portfolio. So I was bouncing around a lot. I was responsible I was a superintendent for the University of Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
I had 5 other superintendents that reported from it to me. So I was bouncing around and spending a lot of time at other properties while still trying to manage this one. And my kids were at the age that I wanted to. I didn't want to be on the road, right? I wanted to see them. And when we finished the construction and the success of opening the Cardinal Club, a lot of Hurstbourne members were also members at the Cardinal Club. They were about to go under the knife for that renovation. They asked me to interview for the job, and Ed Wilson was the Green Committee chairman at the time. He's like a second grandfather to me now. He picked a kid that really didn't know what he was doing, was really good at faking being a superintendent.
And this was that 04-05 time?
This was in 2003.
Okay, yeah.
February 2003 was when I started at the golf club at Hurstbourne.
Okay.
And like I said, I was really good at faking it and talking the game, but I was a terrible superintendent. No, in hindsight, right? Back in hindsight, I was a terrible superintendent. I thought I hung the moon, but in hindsight, I was a terrible superintendent.
Hey, that's half the game, right?
He hung with me, and we've been able to take Hurstbourne from a course that wasn't even ranked in the state of Kentucky to the top member ranked club in the state.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
To a course that is now hosting a PGA Tour event.
Yeah.
And one of the most difficult courses on the PGA Tour.
Well, sure, they call it a US Open golf course.
It's been a really fun ride.
I can imagine. I mean, you are the best kept secret in that area for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing, I mean, I got to bring this up because it's one of my favorite conversations with you, but you've become a farmer.
I have.
And you and I talk a lot about this. So you've got chickens and cows and, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I don't have chickens. My wife has chickens.
Oh, she's doing the chickens.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear on that, right? So we have egg chickens. She's got about a dozen of them, and then she just hatched about a dozen eggs. So we've got in the garage, we've got a dozen chicks that are about, I don't know, 2 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you're hosting a PGA stop and having chicks.
And making breakfast for everybody.
And just before the event, I'd just taken a couple steers in to be processed. So
bye, Betsy.
Yeah. So I don't I don't do a cow calf. I don't have a cow calf operation. I buy steers once they're weaned.
Yeah.
And then I raise them until they're ready to go to the butcher.
And you're doing a little rotational grazing, right?
I am doing some rotational grazing. So it's right. We typically have anywhere from 6 to 12 steers out there at any given time. I got 25 acres of pasture to put them on. Well, I guess I got about 20 acres of pasture.
Yeah, I've heard it's a beautiful property. I've never been there.
I can attest.
Jack had hamburgers sitting at the table I'm sitting at right now.
The burgers are incredible.
If you would have showed up to work the event, we could.
I was awfully busy.
We could have come over here and had dinner one night.
Oh man,
I heard.
I had a great time working the event. A great time.
Well, and I'm grateful that you actually made Jack work for a change.
That's
a very good thing.
We had fun. It was me, John Ballard. Who else was that? Craig, Rick.
Rick. Yep. You were with the A team.
Yeah, you were with the big boys. That was fun.
He got really good at patching little blemishes on the green with my sand bottle concoctions.
I'll talk about that. I want to hear this story. That's the ketchup bottle story. But tell us the whole story here, because I think it's a neat little trick.
It's a really simple trick that I've used for a while. But you just take some dry green sand. So a 5-gallon bucket of green sand, a solo cup of your organic fertilizer of choice. I use the 545.
Green's great.
I've used the 333 also in the past. Typically, it's the 545, and then about a half a scoop of your favorite granular wetting agent.
And that's key. I mean, the organic and the wetting agent, they're both key.
If you just put dry sand down, it's not going to stay. It's not going to tack to the soil below, right? So the wetting agent and the organic keeps some moisture in that sand, which then allows it to not get picked up by the mowers or get, when your backpack blowing, you don't blow it off, right? So it kind of gets down in there and it sticks.
Because what you had us doing was going around with the ketchup bottle and just little, you could puff it. You could puff it into the ball marks or little scars, or this ball mark's halfway healed. This one, I mean, I
think it works. I think it works best on the little scars or the ball mark that's halfway healed. And you've got the grass that's trying to grow over, but you can see voids underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
But you fill that in, and next thing you know, it just covers right over. The ball marks take a little while because members just don't fix ball marks.
No.
And on firm greens, they really don't fix them because they don't find it.
They don't even exactly.
Right.
You're right.
The ball's 20 feet away from where it hit, and they don't even find it.
They don't go looking for it.
So it's not necessarily a divot as much as it is just a skid.
Yeah,
that's right.
So you're literally using ketchup bottles for this process?
Well, like the little plastic squeeze bottles with you just cut the tip off of it and the dry sand.
It worked perfect. Honestly, it worked perfect.
It's fantastic.
Puff.
Jack, I think Jack's got some video of it.
I've got video. Yeah, and that is an EarthWorks 2-minute turf talk.
I think it might have to be. I love that idea. I think
y'all keep using me for your 2-minute turf talks. I'm gonna have to start getting royalties.
Yeah, you
put out good stuff.
Didn't we give him a hat once or something?
Yeah. I don't know. You can take me out to dinner, buy me a bourbon.
We'll get you a Yeti cup. Yeah, we'll send you something. Yeah, that's the other thing about your area that's dangerous for me is you're right in the heart of bourbon country, and that's
it's always a good time hanging out in Louisville.
Yeah, it's exactly. And being born in Kentucky, I gotta say I love. I
always forget that.
I know. Yes. Most people, I remind them as often as I can when I'm in Kentucky.
Yeah,
but it's not. I wasn't really. It was northern Kentucky, and I was almost Cincinnati, so they called it Cincinnati Light.
Anywhere above Carrollton, we call that Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Light.
Exactly. So you're doing the tournament again next year?
Yep. We signed a 3-year contract.
Oh, perfect.
So it's going to be at least 2 more years, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
So,
I know ISCO, the Jimmy Kurtzdorfer, the CEO, president of ISCO. He is a huge golf supporter. He's a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Community
Right.
builder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm missing the word here. You know, he anything to
support the community, bring the community.
Yes, anything he can do to support the community, right?
Pump some money into the place.
Right. I mean, he made the analogy, right? There's only 35 golf courses in the country that host a PGA Tour event every year.
There you go.
So
you're one of them.
Bringing something like that to Louisville is a huge thing.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, think about everything that happened in that weekend. I thought that ISCO was a cool sponsor because you also you have no idea what ISCO does, right? But out on the golf course, they had signs kind of talking about who they are, what the company was.
So who are they?
Okay.
Well, so they started out as an irrigation supply company selling at ISCO. That's the initials. Irrigation
supply company.
Okay, got it.
They started out selling just irrigation heads and systems and whatever to golf courses. And then they innovated and then they got into that HDP pipe, the fusion.
Yeah.
And now they're selling that stuff to municipalities and
everybody. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Golf is now only like,
I was going to say, I bet they're not doing a whole lot of golf
business, right? I mean, you want to sell 2-inch, 2, 3, 4-inch pipe to golf courses, or 60-inch pipe to,
exactly.
To, oil pipelines.
Yeah.
On the golf course, they were saying, "Hey, city of Louisville, your municipal water system is 150 years old.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time to reinvest.
Right.
Let's talk.
Right.
Which I thought was really cool.
And he's doing that. There's only a couple of companies in the country that sell that pipe.
Right.
So, and that's where everybody's going when anything under pressure, right? That's what they're using, because once it's in, it's there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have.
And they're local. They're Louisville based.
They are.
And they're manufacturing right there.
One of their manufacturing is here. I mean, they've got them all over the place.
I'm sure they are now, but they started out.
Their headquarters are here, and they've got a plant here as well.
And he brought the PGA to.
And he brought a PGA Championship here. And cool. He's also the Jimmy's. Like I said, he's all about golf, right?
Yeah.
When the PGA of America decided, not the PGA Tour, but the PGA of America decided to sell Valhalla, he's the one that put together the group that bought. He's the principal owner, and then he's got a couple other minority owners in there as well.
How far are you from Valhalla, just so people get a perspective?
15 minutes.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah,
yeah, and
they're on the far east end of town, and we're, I don't know, I'm 10 miles down Shelbyville Road from them.
Yeah. How far are you from downtown Louisville?
I don't know, 5-10 miles. Not far.
Yeah. That's
a great thing about Louisville.
Yeah.
You can be anywhere in 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can be in the middle of nowhere in 20 minutes.
Exactly. Or within an hour to like 15 bourbon distilleries,
and that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah. We've had a couple of meetings we were supposed to have with you, I think, or with John or somebody, and that's now we'll just go out to see, the distilleries, which was, well worth the time. Nothing personal, of course. I hate to tell you this, but once again, we have just run through a whole hour, and I told you this would be fast. Walter, I can't thank you enough. I mean, we are leaning on you a lot, but it's because we really love working with you, and I love your golf course, and I'm grateful for all your support and your friendship. I love talking chickens and cows. So hopefully before too long, I'll be able to actually get out there, since my schedule is loosening up.
There you go. Well,
I've loved working with you guys as well. My only regret is I didn't find you guys earlier. That Chad wasn't smart enough to bring you into.
That's his fault. A little bit
Will. It's all Chad's fault.
Yeah, he had a shot, and I keep telling him I told you so. But now look at him. He's retired and rich and happy and having fun.
Yes, we could have worked with you when you were a regional agronomist over like 15 golf courses, man.
Working with Arnie.
Now I know Jack started making friends with the Canadians. I think he's trying.
Oh yeah, he's fostering
inroads up there across the border.
I've already heard it all.
I told him. Yep. We really had a great time. I had a great time at your place.
They were fun.
You made, but to compliment you. You made for a really nice environment there, and also fairly chill too. No one was worked up. No one was freaking. No, it was nice.
Well, that was one couple of things, right? One is that was marketing to try and get better, to get more volunteers next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Found the best food I could possibly find, right? I mean,
it was good.
Right. So
what was the catering? I didn't ask you that.
Oh, Mama's on Tuesday.
So we did. We picked all of our favorite restaurants. Barbecue. We did some barbecue. We did some Mexican. So all of our favorite restaurants. We did Gus's Fried Chicken.
Oh
right?
Wow.
Yeah. So all of our favorite restaurants catered dinner, and then I had a local caterer do the breakfasts, and the breakfasts were fantastic.
Yes, they were.
So that's all volunteers care about. It's amazing. They'll work their asses off for good food and a Red Bull.
Yeah. It's funny you say that.
Cases of Red Bull, dude.
I interviewed Keith Wood before the PGA, and he goes, "Yeah, we don't have coffee anymore. None of these volunteers want coffee. They want Red Bulls. That's all they want. A refrigerator full of Red Bulls."
Yeah. So it's amazing what total strangers will do for you for good food and Red Bull. So we got all that done. And then what I kept trying to tell my guys is, and there were times where calm wasn't there, but calm is contagious.
Yes. Well, it worked.
Stay calm. No matter what happens, stay calm.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure it out later. Because again, this is what we do every day.
Yeah.
Right.
We're prepared. We're ready.
We're just prepping it for different people.
Yeah.
It's.
And a whole bunch of people standing along the sideline, crushing down the rough.
I mean, that's the worst of it, right? Is trying to how to, and that's what I talked to Jack about yesterday. It was just okay. What's the protocol? What's the program for doing this next year? I think my trick next year, now that I see where all the wear patterns are, is to go out the week before with the 545 and just pallets of the Eco Light.
Yeah,
that's right. That's what. Yeah, because that's what we talked about.
And just let them trample it into the ground.
Yeah. Very good idea.
Do you have a whole notebook of notes from this year so you know what's going on next year?
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very good.
It's here and there. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. So, like I said, I want to give the guys a week to kind of get their heads back.
Yeah.
Back around. And that's the hardest thing, right? Is now we got to roll back around and keep up for the members, right? There can't be a hangover.
No,
not at all. Yeah, you got to go right into it.
Hangover, because then any of the naysayers that were like, "See, I told you we shouldn't have had this event," and that just gives them fuel for the fire.
I can't imagine that your members aren't like through the roof right now.
Most of them are, but every club has the naysayers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and especially, I mean, you didn't slow down going into it. I know, because we were there on Monday, and you had 200. Yeah,
I mean, the week leading into the tournament, our fewest number of rounds per day was 180.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing 180 to 200 rounds a day
for a week,
all the way up until Sunday. We didn't close down until 3:00 Sunday afternoon.
You were open Sunday, the day before the tournament, and so Monday they came. The pros were coming in, and
we were closed yesterday and today, and we opened back up tomorrow.
Oh wow!
So we were doing divots and ball marks on Monday, and it was member divots and ball marks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
I mean, most of only like 25% of the field showed up to play a Monday practice round. Right. So everything we were doing were member divots and ball marks. It was interesting.
I would like to volunteer Jack for next year's tournament, but I think he should be there Monday through Sunday and get him the catch a bottle thing. I think
100%.
He really liked that. He needs that experience.
You just need to come in one day so we can thank you in front of everybody for buying.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Just send me the menu and I'll decide which day I might want to come
and drink a beer.
No, I won't be drinking beer at your place.
Well, a
I
bourbon.
can promise you
Drink a
that.
bourbon.
I'll be drinking somebody's bourbon. Walter, again, thank you so much. It really is a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Walter. This was fun.
I call you a friend
It
for
was a
good
blast.
reason.
You guys make this so easy.
That's cool.
Oh, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
you're
And by the
welcome.
way, folks, if you're not a subscriber to the EarthWorks podcast, please become one so we can tell you when friends like Walter Pritchett are up here. So again, thank you very much. Jack, thank you. Keep it up the good work. And Walter will be in touch soon, I hope.
Cheers.
Cheers.